Happy Peeps, Suzanna here today. I'm guest designing for Bella Blvd again. This is my last layout that I'm sharing with you, and I am using this collection called Island Escape. I think this is my favorite of all of the ones that have been released, and this is the multi-photo layout that I created using this collection. So my original plan with this layout and the finished layout end up being two completely different things. You see that hexagon paper there was inspired by the hexagons, and I will cut out a bunch of hexagons in different colors and sizes and thought that I was going to use them on this layout. However, you will see how that doesn't quite work. So I did want to use the hexagon paper as my background, but I wanted to create a frame for that. So you can see that I gutted that green piece that I'm then going to lay this hexagon paper on, and that is going to be the base or foundation of this 12 by 12 multi-photo layout. So there are 4 pictures on this layout, and I will, once I lay this piece here down, I'm going to trim out those photos. I printed them on a 5 by 7, I want to say, piece of paper there, and I just fast forwarded through. Literally all I did was just trim off the borders of these pictures, and these pictures are of my son and some of the kids on his swim team on a trip this past summer to St. Petersburg, Florida. It was a postseason championship swim meet, and the kids always get a beach day, and we went to a beach. It wasn't St. Pete, but it was a really good beach with some, as you can see, really nice white sands, and the kids had a grand old time. So I wanted to scrapbook those memories. I thought that this was perfect for a island escape getaway. So I wanted to use summer, and I thought sun, but you will have seen that I used sun on a different layout. So I wanted to incorporate summer and that acrylic adventure into my layout, and that was going to somehow factor into the title, Summer and the Acrylic of Adventure. And I played with the placement of the words. Initially, I thought that they would go in the middle and divide the pictures, but then I decided that I liked the pictures together, clustered. They looked much better. And now I'm going to rifle through the ephemera. It's actually really more die cuts, and see which die cuts I can incorporate into this layout. So I wanted to go with a tropical theme, and you can see that I used the one big one with the palm frond and some flowers, as well as I thought just a cluster of flowers would frame the pictures nicely upon the framed piece of paper there. And then the title needed that third cluster, because I like to have clusters, trios of clusters on my page, and so that sort of moved your eye from the title and down across through the picture. So you can see there I have the hexagon die to run through my big shot or big kick. But I, in the meantime, as I was pulling that out, saw the pineapples, and I thought that those pineapples would make a really nice base for that acrylic, which would allow the acrylic to stand out, because it kind of gets whited out when you put it directly on that hexagon background. So I just trim it down to size, so that the pineapples are of the right size and that adventure fits on there, and it provides almost a bit of a shelf for that acrylic word there. I also decided that it needed to stand out a little bit more, and so you'll see that I will outline that. Now I wanted to matte the pictures, again, just to provide a little bit more color, and B, to sort of unite them and give a little bit more pop to the pictures. So I cut that yellow out from the cut aparts and arranged the pictures. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, whether it was just going to be matted in the yellow, or maybe I could do something fun with that. And so I left myself a little bit of room on either side of the photos. in order to give myself some room to play with what exactly it was that I was going to do. So I'm going to adhere the pictures down and trim off roughly the same side, the same edge there, and then square off the bottom so that I have the same on the top and the bottom. And I thought I was going to leave it like that, but it ends up being a little bit boxy. So in a minute I will do something with that. But in the meantime, I thought, ooh, beach was on the back of that. The yellow, it has the cut aparts on the back. And so I thought a summer beach adventure was perfect, and that incorporates the pink, the yellow, and the green that's in that hexagon paper into the title of the layout. I am very much a color-based scrapper. I can't just have all sorts of random colors on my layouts. I do like to have a uniting theme and usually uniting colors. So I'm going to banner this paper, or X the paper, not V the paper, to create a banner. And so I just folded it in half to get symmetry on both sides. And again, I wanted this to stand out, kind of like you have that dark green border. It also needed a little bit of dark just to pop the yellow and pop the pictures and kind of tie everything together. So I'm just using a black pen. There we go. It's a Pitt pen. And I really like that, so I'm going to adhere that down, commit to that, and then put in the embellishments. The embellishments are covering the pictures a little bit, but that was okay with me because they're beach pictures, and you can still see the important elements on the page. So this is where you can see all those hexagons on the left there, and just like I had outlined the banner, I thought I would outline some of the hexagons in order to make them stand out against the hexagons on the page. So I'm just aligning them, trying to find an alignment, but you can see how, and the reason I left this in the video is that even though it's not what the final page ends up looking like, you can see how very busy that is and how that competes with the pictures as well as the hexagons on that pattern background. The concept was there, and it would have worked had I had a plain background, is my thought. So I am playing with the alignment of where those hexagons are going to go along with the title. And there you can see, with everything in place, how incredibly busy that is. And you can understand why I get rid of the additional hexagons that are on that page there. There's just no breathing room on the page. So now I'm looking for a few additional embellishments. I knew there were hexagons in the stickers. I also thought that maybe having a few more words. I like to have other words sort of as subtitles. And so I have some foam, and I'm going to pop that word, which I believe says relax, and just sort of as a subtitle to the pictures there. And then another hexagon, and again that was to tie everything together, and it works even though I end up taking the other hexagons out. And I know I'm going to commit to these floral clusters, so I'm going to put those down, and I am going to pop one of those flowers as well on a little bit of foam. And again, just for some dimension to the page, I like to have dimension on my pages. You can see that's the foam. I just actually pieced together various pieces of foam to make that work, because the flower is kind of an unusual size. Trim that foam down, take the backing off, and then put that on. So this is the last of 4 layouts that I've done for Bella Blvd. This is the second using Island Escape. If you haven't already seen it, I would love for you to watch the other video that I made using mixed media. It was kind of a cool water resist technique that I did, and I'll link you up right here, up above in the right hand corner, if you haven't already seen that layout. So just to take a little bit of the boxy away from this, I am going to fussy cut it, and I'll speed it up and save you the agony of watching me fussy cut. And you can see how it looks much better there without that boxy look. And then to adhere the acrylic word down onto the pineapple paper, I am going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in the fine line applicator bottle. And that's an easy way of getting that down, and it doesn't go anywhere once it's there. So this is where I decide I can't use these hexagons, it's too busy. So I'm just going to put the title down and then add some other flowers for that third trio that I like. I also felt that it needed a little bit more green to tie everything together. So I have that chipboard. I think that's a banana leaf. I'm going to call it a banana leaf. And I use that there, and then know that I want some more elements up the top there to tie everything in. And it kind of needs a pop of yellow. And I'm going to go with that chipboard flower there, as well as the two little green bits that head and tail, I'll call it summer, just to, again, give that title a little bit more pop there. So that, my friends, is my final layout once I stick everything down for Bella Blvd as a guest designer this month, and this is using the Island Escape collection. I have seen this on a cherry on top. I know Scrapbook.com has it, so if it's something that you are inspired to create with, I would love to see what you do with it as well. So thanks, Bella Blvd, for having me as a guest designer. You are my dream, one of my dream manufacturers, and it has been an absolute pleasure to guest design with these fantastic collections. I'm glad to hear that Stephanie is home and enjoying her family, and I hope her road to recovery is going well. So thank you. If you have any questions about how I used any of this stuff, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box below. Enjoy the close-ups, and thanks for stopping in today. Take care.